we talk about that?
All right, episode 26, guys, back on the horse, live, Hobo Studios. What a night. What a beautiful night.
As these episodes get further in,
beautiful night.
the
Yes.
numbers are going to get a lot harder to come up with something to talk about.
26.
Like, Scott will come up with some shit, but 26, that's...
Alphabet, isn't it?
Yeah. Or was it 25?
That was 26.
Is it? Oh, dear.
Is that?
I mean, that's not interesting.
No, no, but it's a reference.
It's something.
Right, what else you
2
got?
plus 6 is 8.
Yep.
8 is the number of fingers / thumbs that the Simpsons characters have.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 on each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So,
That's
you
love
go.
The Simpsons, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I've got something coming up soon that I need your expert advice on around The Simpsons.
Yep.
So coming up, we've got stablemate questions.
Yep.
We got what the fuck. We
Yep.
got the for fuck's sakes. We got
Yep.
the sports wrap.
Yep.
What else we got? We got Scoot Saves the
Saves-
World Part 2.
Yep.
Hang around for that. That's going to
Yep.
be monumental.
Yeah.
We
Shit
have
Dad.
no idea what he's going to say.
Can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
Shit, Dad.
Shit Dad as
Dad.
well this
Yep.
episode. So episode 26, we're off and running. So a quick catch up. What have you been doing? You've been shooting through the eye of a needle at 50 paces.
I wouldn't say that. I've been battling some stomach cramps, but I'll be okay. Thanks for bringing it up.
I had a bit of that today as well. But
Did
we
you?
had some people delivering a fridge. And I was just like, guys, hurry up.
Is this your new fridge?
Yeah.
Finally turned up.
Yeah, fine.
Is there anything worse than when you're home alone and you're sitting on the toilet and you hear the fucking doorbell go
Oh, I
off?
know.
And you gotta,
Yeah.
you've got to in that moment you have to decide.
Am I just
I'm
staying
not
quiet?
bothering. I'm just not getting whoever that is. I'm not getting it. Or okay, I'm on here. Let's go. And today I was on. I'm like, let's go. And it just turned out to be a delivery driver who was just walking off up the driveway and would have just left that
Yeah.
parcel for me.
Dude, the doorbell doesn't ring much anymore. Like, because, delivery guys, I think since COVID, thank you, COVID, for this.
They
They just leave it.
Yeah.
They just leave it at the front door.
Knock and
it's
go.
fine. The old knock
Yeah.
and drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, apart from poor pooing ability, it's been a
You
couple
seem
of
to
big
have
weeks.
problems with that. Every time you're like, I've got a poo lemma.
A poo lemma.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, just go to the toilet.
He does all the time, doesn't he? He goes,
I shouldn't have to
"Oh,
tell
I
you
got a
this."
shit bad. Well, go and
No, I'm not.
go and drop the kids off at the pool. It's fine.
I mean, I answered the phone while I was sitting on the toilet to Scott yesterday, and it was uncomfortable. I
Did I
never
know?
do that. Scott does it to me all the time.
Yeah, I get him all the time
But
too.
I
It's
but I
like-
never do that, and I did it, and it was so uncomfortable.
Did I know?
had to, I told
told
you,
me?
and
Yeah.
then Nathaniel dialed in, so there's 3 of yous, and then
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I had to mute it while I just finished up, and it was just really awkward.
Anyway, yeah.
Outside of that, I don't know.
do
My
any wheeze?
boy hit his first 3-pointer in a basketball game.
No, yeah.
Well done.
Last weekend.
How's that
was
work?
pretty
Not
Excellent.
to potentially diminish it, but is it the same lines or is it
good. Same line.
same lines?
Yeah, same line.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he knocked down his first 3, and then he celebrated pretty hard on the court. He did a bit of these ones for the video.
What's
with the
that?
eyes up
Oh,
to-
did he?
Yeah, a bit of these
Oh.
ones as he
Who does
ran
that?
back. Hey?
Who does that?
NBA players.
What's the like
Oh, just...
the connotation?
Like-
Isn't that
Three
holding up
fingers.
3 points? And they do that
3,
too.
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
These ones.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah, but yeah, work's been busy.
Were you live at the game and saw it? Or?
No. See,
Oh.
because it's Friday night games, my daughter doesn't want to go. She's not about supporting him. So we have to alternate who takes him, so I didn't get to see
Until
it.
he gets
But
good at
this
it.
this venue that he plays at Auchenflower, it's really good. They send a video of the game
Oh, cool.
afterwards. So
That's
I've got
awesome.
the video that I can watch it on. So
Yeah.
I'm going
That's
to do that tomorrow. But yeah, that's really cool. Like, it's cool that like the camera pans back and forth. And
Is it like an
across the
auto
whole game. Yeah, just
senses the
detects where
yeah.
the kids are. So.
Yeah.
We had that
Really
once
cool.
in one of my soccer games. It's the worst thing ever. Watching yourself play. Like,
How does it
Oh.
detect?
just actually realizing how shit you are.
How does
Yeah,
it detect in
it's-
soccer? Because in basketball, all 10 people go up this end and all 10 people go down this end. But in soccer, there'd be people all over the field.
Follows
Does
the
it
ball.
detect the
doesn't
ball, maybe?
it? Yeah.
You
follows-
Follow
it's
the
that
ball.
good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it did. I don't know how it did it.
Yeah, cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah, you don't look how you feel. It's like filming yourself doing something else. You don't. You don't look how you feel.
I wouldn't know.
Bullshit. I've seen the videos. Anyway, yeah. What have you been up to on that note?
What have I been up to? Fridge has been delivered.
This is interesting.
We got we don't like to call it an electric fence for Teddy, the dog. We like to call it a freedom fence.
Is it a hidden fence?
It's hidden fence.
But it
so it gives him a
electrocutes the
zap
shit out of him.
if he gets too close to the...
Yeah, it electrocutes him. Yeah.
Well, they don't call it an electrocution, they call it a stimulation.
Really?
Yeah, they can call it whatever they fucking like, champion.
No, they call it a stimulation.
Get fucked.
I tried it. I put it on.
Were you
Not
stimulated?
on my neck. I didn't wear the collar.
Where did you put it?
Just on my arm.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
on my arm.
Did it hurt? Or?
It was actually quite... Is arresting a word? Like it's like when you're on a trampoline you get a static shock.
Like that.
Electricity. Yeah, it was like that. And
It'd be light for a dog.
And that was level 1.
Well, he is a small dog.
But it's around his neck.
Yeah, but he's on level 3 now. So I don't know what level 3 feels like, but he doesn't like it. He doesn't like going.
Well, that's
it's
the idea,
worked.
yeah.
It's worked.
He figured it out.
He doesn't get zapped anymore because he knows. He might have his white flags that he's got to do, but yeah.
Yeah.
So we got that done. So I got to teach him that.
Yeah. I think he'll learn pretty quick. That sounds awful.
Yeah. Well, but he's now more free. He can now go everywhere in the yard.
The whole.
But whereas before
property,
we had to keep him inside because he'd escape all
Yeah.
that. So come on, not a bad person, am I?
Oh, no.
My brother's got one.
Yeah,
They're very
and
common.
He's fine. He's
And
a good person.
they're humane.
Yeah, if they learn.
It's only light. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
I'm
not a fan, but
he's
that's
got his
just me.
freedom fence.
Yeah.
All
right.
And he's living his best life roaming where he needs to roam.
Freedom fence.
Freedom
What
fence.
a crock of shit.
Stimulation, not a shock. Oh, wow.
You know what's
That's for
happened
the
there?
white crowd. isn't
Someone's come back from a sales call and they're like, oh, they didn't like electric fence. It's like, oh, should we just make up some bullshit like freedom fence?
I made the freedom fence up.
You are the sales rep
That's
now.
what I've been calling it.
I actually, what's funny is I actually thought to myself, that sounds like some bullshit that Scoot would come up with.
What else? I wrote down something up there. What we did, I think it was
Batman.
Batman. Yeah, me and Zach were driving to school, and I really like driving him to school because we just had a good banter. It's just a good
Dad and Zach.
Zach. Yeah, I've
Yep.
tried to ban the earbud, whatever he's got, the thing.
Headphones.
So you can
Headphones.
chat.
Yeah, so you can chat.
Why can't you talk?
Sometimes gets away with one in, like the one that I can't see. He's got it in, but he's still talking to me. And he's listening to an audio book, and I'm like, "Champ, are you actually? You're not paying attention to one of us."
He's,
Which one is it?
he's nodding at the right time.
But
yeah.
I'd be on his side of blocking you out too, eh?
Well, this is the thing about the Batman thing, because you might agree with him. Because I'm just coming up with random banter, and I think one of my bits of material was, I said, you know, we got Batman. We got Batman. It's like a man, but kind of a bat. Do you reckon bats have invented characters as well, and they've got human bat? And it's like a bat, but it dresses up as a human.
Oh, God. Yeah.
That's it.
I don't think they do. Just from my experience.
That's the gag.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fair enough.
Just out of interest, is the standard of the shit you come up with, is that like on par, or is it worse than that, or is that an example of a good one?
That's a very good one.
How did he take it? What did he say?
Jesus. Shut up, Dad.
Yeah, just...
He opened up the door, kicked you out, and drove himself to school.
I always try to get us to drive kids as well. Like, there's kids from his school wearing his school uniform about a K away from the school, and I'm like, should we just stop and...
Oh, now you're picking kids up.
Like, should we just stop and give him a
Just
lift?
holding your blue card up out the window.
I've got a blue card. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
If the kid doesn't know
And
you,
Zach's
it's
like,
not
no, you
fun.
can't do that. And I'm like, but he's got to walk a kilometre. I could help.
Do you know I have the exact opposite conversations with my kids in the car on the way home? Like at the moment, my daughter is walking home from school for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And I have the exact opposite conversations with her. If somebody pulls up and they look like Scoot, do not get in that fucking car.
All right. Well, let's get on to the...
What about you, mate? What have you been up to?
I've been busy. I've had a lot of work come in. I'm booked out now through till probably the end of April.
That's awesome.
Got some big jobs coming up. Wow. Don't really, when you know that you've got to do stuff, And it's not that I'm overwhelmed by the project. It's just thinking about the actual physical work I've got coming up, and it's going to be brutal. But I'll probably have to get some machinery in and that kind of thing. So I think I booked out. Plus Easter's coming up pretty soon, so have a break there. And we've got not this Saturday, next Saturday we've got gig.
Yes.
Royal Mail Goodenough. March 16th. You're coming out.
I'll be there.
Play the schooner. Yeah, excellent.
Have a sing-song.
So all the stablemates come out.
See if anyone sits on Scoot's lap.
Yes. Something will happen for sure. So come out and say good day. We had a bit of a band practice the other day. That was good fun. So,
cool.
So Vegas, boys. NRL in Vegas. Did you
How
watch
good
both
was
games? Oh, it was great. It was
so good. The build-up was awesome.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved the build-up.
Yep.
Like, there was a funny joke Matty John said on his show. He said, there's 3 big acts on in Vegas tonight. There's U2, there's Cher, and there's the Matty John show.
Oh, yeah.
And the crowd was so tiny for the Matty John show. It was in the car park of, like, the Tropicana or some shit.
I seen one when they had the 4 on the sitting at the desk, and then one of the escort trucks drove past. Did you see that?
Yeah, with the phone
number
numbers for the escorts. Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah.
But
You got that on speed
awesome.
dial, haven't you, for when we go to Vegas?
Yeah,
So.
very, very funny. But yeah, the build-up was great, and just the atmosphere, like, leading up to it like, they played in the stadium where the NFL, where the Super Bowl was
played,
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah.
For all those
It's pretty
players.
good.
And they got good bums on seats. Like, I was wondering, is it going to be an empty stadium? But they got good crowds. Apparently, anyone who was anyone to do with the NRL was there.
Yeah.
Like, if you were an ex-player, you were just there. You
Yeah.
just were. It was a good excuse.
They had over 40,000, so...
Yeah.
And I've seen a few
What's the
reviews
capacity?
from...
60,000 capacity, I think.
think so,
65,000.
What's the actual end game? Is it they actually making a play at getting the game to be played in the US?
Yeah, they're going 5 years, I think. So the next 5 years, I'll be... so another 4 teams will go next year, and I think they'll look at that again.
Do they think it's going to actually, like, in 5
Apparently,
years,
there's
do they
a couple
expect...
of big bodies over there that are pushing rugby league in that country, and I think they've got a chance too, because it is a faster paced version of NFL. Like, it is, they have their downs in the NFL. They've got, it's similar to 6 tackles. There's no stoppages, so I think they actually quite enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the running backs are very similar to the outside wings and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I think they had problems with not understanding that the numbers were for your position.
Yeah.
So because in NFL they have their name on the back, and I guess they can pick their own number.
Yeah.
Where in league, number 7's a halfback.
It's a pretty big thing to try to get a sport off in a new country. Like, imagine if they tried to get, like even baseball.
They
like,
tried
they've
it
tried
here.
baseball here.
Yeah.
It's such.
Yeah.
I guess we're it's such a smaller marketplace here. Like, there's a massive.
It's a big country though, and they don't have to make it. Doesn't have to become a national sport there for this to be successful.
Yeah.
If there's a league over there, that's quite successful in its own right, even behind the scenes, and that's great.
Well, they're looking at even just taking the games there, creating the revenue to bring back for grassroots rugby league as well. And even I saw a report today about the owner of the 49ers went, maybe I'll go and buy an NRL team. So
it's cool.
What
about Union? How it, like, obviously very similar games if you're coming from an outsider perspective, but it's a little bit fragmented. You got Union over here, league over there.
I actually think that NRL rugby league is more marketable. Like, even myself, who I enjoy watching Union if it's a big game.
Yeah.
But the rules are so hard to understand. Yeah. That's why I actually think the rugby league product is made for the American market, because it is so similar to the NFL already.
Yeah.
But it is also
simple.
A lot easier to understand. Like, less of the scrum penalties and like, it's just 6 tackles there, 6 tackles back, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. What did you think of the gameplay, given the field was about 10 metres shorter and the
5
metres, even more important, 5
They were
metres
saying it was going to be a
more
low-scoring
narrow.
game because of that, but it didn't.
First game wasn't.
Turn out to be.
No, there was 60 points or something.
There were some tired boys out there, though.
Yeah. Match fitness, and you go to a different country, and even a week or 2 weeks in, getting used to the time zone and having no match fitness proper. They've had a couple of trial games and training, but
Would they
when
have
you
been
get
on
out
the piss
there,
in Vegas?
I'd
Afterwards, maybe.
afterwards I definitely would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that you can't get that match fitness unless you're playing footy.
But and first game of the year, it's always around that 55 minute mark that they always just start to struggle anyway.
Yeah. I noticed, and Manly won their game. It was a good game to watch.
Yeah,
and
it
then
was.
obviously going for the Bronx in the second game, and I just thought Reynolds was a bit off the pace. And I know that we lost Brendan Piakura in the first 5 or 10 minutes, so he was gone to concussion, and that pushed Carrigan out wide, so we missed that 1-2 of Haas and Carrigan going up the guts because it pushed Carrigan out wide. So I didn't give Reynolds that space to move, but I still thought he just looked tired.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Didn't Reece Walsh look good though?
Oh,
He is so good.
Yeah.
Can I go early on my for fuck's sake?
yeah, go.
Why not?
Yeah.
The shoulder charge in rugby league.
Oh, to stop the try.
Yeah, it's dog shit. Like, that was a great shoulder charge.
Yeah.
Like, I hate it. He came in, put the shoulder in, over the sideline, in the corner, saved a try, but because you didn't wrap your arms around him, it cost the Bronx.
It cost us $605
What?
because if he had scored,
we had that multi.
we had a multi-bet on.
Yeah.
And if Tupu had scored, we would have got
Yeah.
$605. Tupu, yeah. Oh, twin shit.
Okay. We're laughing at Tupu. Like, come on. Come on. Like, it's fine. Protect the head. They're trying to protect the head.
Yeah, it was.
But
wasn't. I've seen worse, but yeah. Anyway,
what's the rule? You've got to make an effort with your arms regardless. You can't just lead with your shoulder at all.
yeah, you got to put that. Yeah. And then the controversial thing, I guess, was the racial slur from the Roosters player, Ezra Mam, Spencer Luau or something, and apparently, allegedly called him a monkey, which is just not on. And I think they're back now from Vegas, so he'll be seeing. He's gone straight to the.
Yeah.
He's been charged straight away. So, yeah, it's pretty. You don't need that, and especially.
Yeah, big black mark on an otherwise good event.
Yeah.
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 It was a really good spectacle.
Yeah, it was.
Great.
Yeah, pretty cool. So, I thought of it when I was watching. I went, we should do it 1 year.
Yeah.
Just we'll. Yeah.
Well, I say we should just go. Remember, we could have
It was
gone.
just too early.
It wasn't.
And it wasn't. Yeah. All right. And any other sports stuff?
AFL starts this weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, so this will go live Friday, so it will have started last night
Oh, Thursday.
by the
Yeah.
time it goes live. So that's exciting. Are we going to do our predictions?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. Yep.
So Leggy's going to give his top 4 predictions for the NRL,
Yep.
and I'm going to give mine for
Have
the
you got any
AFL.
off the top of your head?
Oh, nah, but I'll have a crack.
Have a crack. All right.
You or me?
I'll go first.
You go.
My NRL top 4. I'm going to go the Broncos, but I'm worried about Reynolds.
Top of the table. You reckon they'll get the minor premiership?
If Reynolds can stay fit and if he gets up to speed, I think we'll be all right. And if Walsh and all them, it'll be that period in Origin when we always lose a few players, like Haas for New South Wales and that, but the Queenslanders that we lose. But hopefully, they always say, cliche, you got to lose one to win one. Hoping they stay there. Bit worried about Reynolds. He's 34 or something, 33, 34. So as halfback, it might have just been that one game. Then I got the Panthers, Storm, and sort of Smokies, maybe the Warriors. Can't choose between the Warriors or Roosters for my top 4. So we'll visit this at the end of the year.
Okay.
Broncos, Panthers, Storm, Warriors, Roosters.
We'll pick one.
Warriors.
Okay.
Yeah, but the way
Wooden spoon.
Tedesco played against the Bronx the other, if he plays like that all year, fuck, we're in, like the Roosters are going to be.
Yeah, they look good.
I don't think the West Tigers or the Bulldogs are going to see too much improvement this year, so they'll be my wooden spoon. Daly M Player of the Year, I'm going to go. Let's go Walsh.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a big
let's go
call.
Walsh. Yeah,
Cool.
Which was your wooden spoon, though?
West Tigers.
West Tigers.
Yeah,
All right, AFL.
here we go.
You said
Lions.
you got to lose one to win one.
Yeah,
I reckon minor premiership will be the Brisbane Lions.
yeah.
They've been great. They've been on the up since about 2019. the Lions, and they're in a premiership window. If they're going to do it, they got to do it in the next year or two. I reckon now's the time. The other thing is they've recruited Tom Doedee for their defence from Adelaide, and he's a good defender. I got a lot of time for him.
Yeah.
They're also getting Will Ashcroft back, so I reckon they're going to be a stronger team this year than they were last year. So they'll get the minor premiership. Collingwood will get second.
Yeah.
They'll be second. I think, again, they've had a good year of recruiting. What's his name from Fremantle? Forgotten his name, but I reckon they will be better than they were last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I've put them as second. Third will be GWS. They were 1 point away from a grand final last year.
Yeah.
We beat them to get into the grand final by 1 point, so I reckon they'll be good. And controversial one for fourth, I've got Carlton.
Really?
Yep.
When's the last time Carlton won a premiership?
Fucking early 90s. But I reckon they will delight their fans by making top four, and then they'll go out and shake fucking sets.
I got
So
one of my favourite AFL memories as a kid. Well, it was VFL back then. Was the Carlton Richmond grand final, I think, and that blonde-haired lady streaked, and she had a scarf on, I think, and I think the commentator said, "Oh, she's definitely not a natural blonde."
Wasn't black and white TV then.
No, bless her.
Wooden Spoon, West Coast.
Right. Okay.
No
again.
chance. They were fucking atrocious last year. They'll be fucking atrocious again.
Yep.
Brownlow will be Nick Dacos from Collingwood. Youngest ever Brownlow winner. He will win it. Unless he gets
Stays
injured,
fit,
he will win it by a paddock.
Well, Benji Swans, where you going?
No, they don't get a mention. And they will be top 8. They will make top 8. They will just miss the top 4.
Okay.
The Swans. And then I'm going to say it. You said it at the top. You said you've got to lose one to win a premiership. The premiership will be won by Collingwood back-to-back.
Oh,
this is all sounding very definite.
We'll go back-to-back.
Done. Back-to-back. All right, you going to have a stab?
Which one?
Well, either or. Yeah.
Give us your minor premiers and your premiers in both sports.
Minor premier. I'm just saying words.
Okay.
So I'll just say them. Okay.
You're allowed
I'll
to.
say minor premiers in the NRL Panthers and
That's bold.
AFL. Let's say Collingwood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And what about the premiership?
Premiership. The same ones that I said.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It'll be the first time in history the minor premiers for both codes have
You
gone
don't
on
know
to win
that's
the
the first time in
premiership.
history.
I'm willing to.
No, but
I'm
going
willing
back to
to
back.
have a crack that is the first time.
Right.
That would
okay.
be back-to-back as well, because it was
Yeah.
Panthers, Collingwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
So,
do know.
yeah.
You do know.
There you go.
Benji,
No, I don't know anything about NRL.
just say some names.
Say some names.
Just say Broncos.
What about
Panthers.
the North Sydney Bears?
Panthers.
Bears. Yeah, Panthers, I think.
Yep.
And AFL, I think it's going to be Geelong.
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 Ooh.
I'm gonna counter that with Geelong won't make the 8.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I reckon they'll
Ooh.
make the 8.
So we're going to have to revisit episode 26.
Will you
after
give him money if
26
they
weeks
do?
of...
Oh, why do you have to bet on everything? Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the one thing you probably should do it on. It's sports betting.
Quick shout out to LeBron James.
LeBron.
Yeah, I think he
What he-
listens.
what
I
did
think
he
he's
do?
a stablemate.
He is.
Yeah, all his free time he listens
What
to
did he
this
do?
podcast. He was the first person to pass 40,000 points in the NBA.
In one game.
Oh, in one game, yeah. Because it's just turn it on, turn it off. Did you see the Warriors game on...
No, I haven't
was it
seen anything this week.
On Monday morning.
No.
Played the Celtics, who are a top team in the East.
Oh, yeah? Yep.
At quarter time, I think it was 50-20. And
Right.
they ended up winning by, I think...
Oh, they were behind.
Yeah, Celtics were up 50-20.
Right.
They ended up winning something like 125 or 130 or something to 85 or something.
Shit.
But you know how when a game is without a doubt won, that the coach will pull their great players off the court and just put their dummy-os on?
Yeah.
They did that with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Really?
They just pulled all their stars off and just let their second string team
And they
play the
kept-
rest of the
kept
game.
it up,
And
though?
they kept it up.
Wow.
They were shooting 64% 64% or something like that from the 3-point line.
Wow.
64%. Usually teams are running 30.
Are they favourites then this year, you think?
I reckon they're the favourites in the East.
Oh, yeah.
They'd have to be.
Yeah.
The Nuggets are the favourite in the whole comp, I reckon.
All right.
But, yeah, that was a pace.
Is that Mikey's team, the Nuggets?
Yeah, they won last year. Yeah, they won last
Nuggets?
year. Yep. Go back to back.
Speaking of, it reminded me a story back in '99. I was on that Kentucky tour in the States, and all Kentucky tour, I was like, I didn't know anyone. I only met them on the bus. So I'm like traveling alone, big idiot from Toowoomba, you know.
Is this the one where you broke your ankle?
I fractured it. In Hawaii.
Yeah.
Playing. Oh, Hawaii must be nice.
Yeah.
I was waiting. I did to myself.
Only if it's me, mate.
I was at a convention anyway, and I was playing. We were playing beach volleyball, and I kind of twisted it a bit. Then later that night, it was about 2 a.m, and there was the elevator stopped, but it stopped not parallel, and I hit the actual lift and rolled in and cracked I heard it crack, and then I had to get up at like 5 a.m, catch a plane to Orlando, the other side of America, and then do like a 3-week Kentucky tour back to LA and then fly home. And I was hobbling around like an idiot, and I should have probably got a cast on or anything, but it was too far gone. I went, no, just painkillers were there every night. Scotch and Coke, that was so But anyway, we got to Dallas, and I think it was about a week in we got to Dallas, so we went through Memphis, New Orleans, got up and actually played with a couple of bands. Got to, and all bloody trip, I'm saying, I'm bloody starving Marvin. Because, you know, I got a few saying, you say everything, I'm saying, I'm bloody starving Marvin. Anyway, part of the Dallas trip, we could go to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. And I said it was like an extra on the tour, and I went, oh, let's all do that. And they'd had it set up for, I think it was Any Given Sunday, they were filming. So they'd taken all the Dallas Cowboys stuff and put a different coloured field on. Anyway, we went through the change room, and I think Emmitt Smith was a big player back then for the Dallas Cowboys, and they showed us videos of the cheer girls and how to, you know, become one and all that. But what we did, we could run down the tunnel and out onto the field. It was pretty cool. And then we go back into the grandstand, and this really skinny guy comes out. He was like the skinniest guy I'd ever seen. And he comes out and he goes, hi, my name's Marvin. And everyone goes, it's Starvin' Marvin. Everyone, all 55 people on the bus just go, oh, it's Starvin' Marvin. And he's looking around going, what the fuck?
Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah, and I just went, oh, fuck. Anyway. And everyone just pointing at me. So, all right.
Speaking of falling over,
yes,
this studio is set up the same way every week. And a shout out to poor Ben, who lights off last week, last person to leave, and fucking Scott has just put a treadmill in the corner all of a sudden that Ben didn't know was there. And poor old Ben with the shit over the corner of this treadmill.
Surprise treadmill.
Straight into it.
Straight into it, hit his head on the table like a
bent
proper
the table.
ball.
Yeah.
But like, this is how we treat our friends. When Ben was talking about it to me and Scoot today, we've come up with this idea for a TV show called Surprise Treadmill. And we said, so like Ben might get up for a wee in the middle of the night, and Adele might say, where you going? Oh, I'm going for a wee. But then it's like, surprise treadmill, and bang, falls down over.
I reckon you need a real silent one to have it going.
Shoots him off into the corner.
Yeah.
Very good.
I think that could be the next
Just
big thing.
on my driveway behind the car.
Surprise treadmill.
Great idea. All right, well, let's move on to the what the fuck. I've got a what the fuck that they keep popping up in my feeds or anything, and this is where I need your expert advice on the Simpsons.
Do I need my hat on?
I don't think you've got it. Have you got it here?
No.
Simpsons predictions.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Like, so,
How they predict the president would be Trump. And
the
stuff
one
like
going down the escalator, have you seen that? Trump going down the escalator.
Trump going up.
And then someone drops a poster or something.
Yeah, and it's exactly the
It's
same.
exactly
right?
the same.
So,
But years
what was
later.
that example? So what's happened?
I think
Trump
it was
was
a-
going up an escalator
in
or
life,
down an escalator.
in Simpsons.
In both.
In Simpsons, and I think it was like an episode in like 2000 or something like that.
Yeah. Firstly, they predicted that Trump would be president.
Yeah.
So in the episode, Trump is president, and he's going down the escalator.
Down the escalator, and there's a crowd, or this big crowd, and someone in the crowd drops this placard or a poster or something.
Yep.
And I think is Homer on the. Actually, obviously, he's not in the real life one, but Homer's on the escalator with him or something.
Yeah.
And he's waving.
Yeah. Okay.
Like as he's going down the escalator to the crowd.
Yep.
And then in real life,
Yep.
it looks exactly the same, like 20 odd years later.
What's it? And he dropped a poster.
Some kid in the crowd actually dropped the poster exactly the same as what's in The Simpsons.
Okay.
And then the latest one I've seen, it was from a 2016 episode, the Apple Vision Pro prediction. And I know the VR head mask has been around for a while.
So what was the Simpsons episode?
They're walking around. I think Mo had one. He bumps into
they're doing like virtual pool, and he's like they do a virtual fight with the
watch out, playing virtual darts.
Yeah. And he walks into the telephone pole, and everyone's in the street with these
goggles on,
and it's exactly the same as Apple Vision Pro. So
okay,
the amount of do you
there's
have
other ones, but I'm like
because there are ones that are very flimsy.
I do.
But there are ones where you do honestly think to
that
yourself,
Trump one,
do they time travel? Because they even picking Trump to be president.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
I mean,
and that escalator one with that poster full, it's like...
Scoot looks like he's got something to say.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so there's two things I think. So number one, obviously they can't predict the future.
Yep. Keep talking, Scoot.
You're just checking your messages? He's checking your message while I'm talking. Is this both of you've planned this as a bit, and you're just going to check your messages while I carry on and have a conversation with myself?
Oh, JB having a sales.
Okay, cool. Very good. So you pre-planned that. That was comedy. That's the level of comedy
we're running with.
Pre-planned. Okay. All right. So
I told you wouldn't like it. I told you wouldn't like it.
Surprise treadmill. Right.
That thing, me checking my messages, that's good content. That's
but we can't do it.
Yeah, but
you see the arms folded, the body language, and look at this.
It was like that time he went, I'll just wait. And then we just moved on. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're ready to listen.
Okay. Yes. No, we got you.
I'm getting a beer, though.
Actually, can you get me a beverage? I'll have... What is there?
You need Coke with that.
Yeah, I might have a Coke, and there's a glass. And because we've got a freezer now, there's some ice in there. And I've got a cup on the bloody bench. Okay.
All right.
So obviously they can't predict the future. Well,
No.
probably not. Almost certainly not. Okay, so there's two possibilities.
What makes you think that? How did you come up with that conclusion?
Well, I think there is a much better explanation than the Simpsons can predict the future.
I'm back. I navigated the treadmill.
Successfully. So the two possibilities are the Trump situation.
Right.
Either they've set the real life version, they've decided to do that either liminally or subliminally or superliminally.
Or they got a kid to just go, okay, you're going to drop
Forget the poster. Yeah. Firstly, they've gone, okay, there's a Simpsons bit where Trump's in the escalator, so let's just do this bit.
So it's a setup.
So it's either a setup, which I don't think is the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe the kid was just a setup, he dropped it to be part of the setup, which I also don't think is probably likely.
Okay.
I think the most likely explanation is that it's just pure confirmation bias in that there's so many things that happen in life and there's so many things that happen in The Simpsons. There's going to be some level of crossover and we're just honing on the ones that actually happen. But you don't point out all the times that something happened in The Simpsons and it didn't happen in real life.
But
this was exact, though.
I know.
Exact. And the exact things will happen with what Scoot just said. But what about the fact that there's been 15 odd of these fucking things with The Simpsons?
I think it's just The Simpsons is
the
so
amount of
vast.
content
It's
that
so
they make?
vast.
Yeah, okay.
And there's so many episodes too.
But
Can we rule out that they're predicting the future?
Well, let's go back one step. Predicting Trump. Like, that was a joke. In a future episode of, they just mentioned President Trump.
Yeah, but it's not that wacky. Like, think about back then.
There was some shit they did with Disney.
Trump's a big business figure, and he's a bit eccentric, and so that was a piece of content that sounded funny, like, oh, he's going to be our president, and unless he has reacted to that and thought I can be president. I think it's just something that
Hey, Ben,
could have happened.
Can you do some shit Googling and just Google the list of other ones that have happened while Scoot's banging on?
Yeah, I just seen a couple of them. I just went, yeah. And I keep seeing them now all the time because I've...
Why would you rule out time travel?
Fuck, I don't know. Do I need to go into that?
Yes.
Well,
yes, you do.
only because you've said things like there's more to the universe than we know, and when I die, it all stops, and just shit like that.
Well, I think time travel is possible in the same way that anything is possible. But in the confines of this simulation that we're in...
Simulation?
The Simpsons...
What if the simulation can just go like you do with Mario Kart?
Well, that's all possible. If we're getting to that level, yes. Everything's possible.
Well, you said rule it out.
But in the rules that we've been assigned, in the simulation that we're in, or that I'm in and you guys are just inanimate...
Yeah, when nobody's in.
Yeah, nobody's in.
Yeah.
Except we took the attention off you earlier.
In the rules of my universe,
Your universe,
Yep,
yeah.
your
I
universe.
think time travel is
Your
not,
universe, your podcast.
Yeah, I don't think time travel is the most plausible explanation for this. I think it can be so explained by confirmation bias. I think it's just like when you go, just say you're looking at new cars and you're like honing in on a Hyundai
And then you
Tucson.
start seeing them everywhere.
So you start seeing Hyundai Tucsons everywhere.
Yeah,
You weren't noticing all
yeah.
the times you didn't see a Hyundai.
I will say, though, that the sign dropping is... Like, it was nuts.
Yeah, it was great.
Anything there, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's heaps here.
Heaps.
Yeah, this is a list of 30.
There was something like Disney...
I'll run through some of them. There's a late letter from the Beatles.
A late what?
Letter from the Beatles. Apparently Ringo Starr sends a late fan mail.
Oh, yeah.
Like after...
Oh, to Marge. He sends it, Marge, I got your letter. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Yes, apparently Paul McCartney did the same thing.
But is that based on... Did they write that content based on Paul McCartney having done that? Or,
No.
or did Paul McCartney do that based on...
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what we don't know. Some other stuff is like technology, like autocorrect. In 1994, it was part of a...
Yeah.
Autocorrect,
That's
yeah.
not that. That's not that. See, like if they're looking at... 1994, computers exist.
Yeah. There's
typing-
unimpressive ones. Like, there was one where Marge was on, like, the future episode, Marge was on, Mom, video phone. Mom, video phone.
Picture phone, yeah.
And people are like, well, they've invented FaceTime. It's like, no.
No,
it's
that was
just
always gonna
everyone
happen.
predicted video phone.
There's
Sorry.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Yep.
That was one where they predicted that in
Well-
2010, so that they'd be president and vice president.
Oh, really?
Oh, interesting. So what episode was that? So
Don't know.
You've seen
so were
them all,
they in
haven't
politics?
you? You've
at the
seen every
time?
episode?
I don't know if I would have seen all the recent ones.
Right.
I've definitely seen everything up until like season 12, and then I've just seen bits and pieces there.
Yeah.
Malfunctioning voter machines.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did that one.
2008.
Yep.
That was
Yep.
part of that one.
But for me, that falls in the category of
Confirmation
they
bias,
could.
You're not a believer.
That's reasonable enough for them to come up with that
Because
content,
of the amount of content they
and then
made,
it's reasonable enough that that's
Yeah.
actually happened.
Yeah.
So just forget that
No,
malfunctioning.
You're not a believer.
Well, just forget. Just forget for a moment that malfunctioning voter machines was something that really happened. Let's just focus on the likelihood of them coming up with that piece of content for their show. Oh yeah, let's just write in the vote machines malfunction. That's pretty reasonable. It's also quite reasonable that
would happen.
a vote machine would actually malfunction and it would be a thing. And then there's a chance of them both having it together. There's a chance. But there's only so many. You got a list of 30 there, but there's like a million things that's happened in The Simpsons. We've only got 30 coincidences listed there.
The only thing I will say is that Trump one, I can't remember what they are, so maybe I should have done more research if I knew that this was going to be on.
Back on the horse.
But that Trump level one, there are more that are that level. There was something with like Fox Studios being bought out or something like that, or Disney Corporation, something like that, where it was, fuck, you got to be pretty on to pretty, like that's
Well,
pretty
there might be
wild.
some where it actually has influenced reality. So some company got bought out by some company that may have planted a seed in whoever's head. Oh, let's make a play to buy this company, or maybe this kid who's dropped the poster has.
Another big one is the...
It's not time travel.
Yeah. we know that for certain.
Not certain.
certain.
Not certain.
The pandemic. So 1993, the Osaka flu, they called it.
The Osaka.
Yeah.
But we've had swine flu, we've had bird flu. It's not that far-fetched.
Yeah, people have been talking about the possibility of a pandemic being worse than
No, but Bill
SARS
Gates was predicting it, wasn't he? Like,
Yeah.
pandemic, that's your biggest threat to humanity before it happened. Like,
Yeah.
it's, I
We
don't,
all know chemical warfare is a thing, all that kind of stuff.
I actually don't, I'm actually surprised that hasn't happened more. I know we've talked about this, maybe, so it could be repeated content, so apologies if it is, but you know the crazies you get in the world who do, like, Port Arthur and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That is what I would have thought, that's surprisingly infrequent, that you get a crazy person who wants to end their life and do it in a very
Go out with a bang.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't happen as much as I would have thought. Especially
if you can make a virus in a lab and just
Exactly.
leak it and do that much worldwide
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
Not saying it was deliberate. No, not accusing anyone. Don't come after me. Fucking don't come after me.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
And it's with the Simpsons stuff, and it's just like, it's noteworthy just to look at them and go,
It is
oh, that's
interesting.
pretty cool.
So, Leggy,
it's like,
what are you suggesting?
What's the other explanation?
What are
for that?
you suggesting?
I don't know. I just think it's
Are you saying there's a conspiracy?
no, I'm just thinking that it's
Craft as many of
like
these as we can?
to write that and then to produce it and then to go through all the processes of, I don't know what it's like to write a cartoon, but they do that, and then they've got different writers. I think
So
Conan O'Brien was one for a while.
Conan. One of the best things I think Conan's written, I'm pretty sure he wrote this, the monorail episode. And you know when, so there's the emergency with the monorail,
Oh, yeah.
and it's going to crash, and
Yeah.
the only guy who knows how to stop the monorail is the guy who originally invented it, and they have to track him down, and they get him to come to try to solve it.
Is this the haircut?
Yeah, and then like they're like driving as fast as they can I think Marge is driving with the professor to get to the monorail to solve it, and they just miss the monorail leaving the station, and it's like, oh shit, and he just goes, maybe I shouldn't have stopped for that haircut.
Very good.
Yeah. I mean, and they're brilliant at what they do, but it's just, there's so many like predictions and not predictions, I guess, but there's so many coincidences or whatever there. It just feels to me that there's something just in it a little bit.
Remember
but what are you suggesting that is?
I don't know.
Not time
I'm
travel.
So
Do you
are
think
you
more
not
like-
ruling out time travel?
Well, Tesla invented it.
Time travel?
Yeah, he
do you
did.
mean?
Apparently, Tesla did. Nikola Tesla invented time travel.
According to who?
Oh, according to
Sources. The Simpsons.
a few of my friends that I know in the
Okay.
deep dark forest.
And he's just kept it quiet.
This is scientific hearsay.
Well, he's definitely kept it quiet. He's dead.
Yeah. But I guess
Maybe he's not.
remember, like, part of The Simpsons, they're constantly making social commentary about politics, about the future, about stuff
Yeah.
like that. There's going to be a percentage of that.
But
that
so did
comes through.
Scooby Doo, but they didn't predict any future things like
If it wasn't for those meddling kids.
and all the pot smoked in the mystery machine. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Cool.
No, it's interesting.
What other
Just check them
conspiracies
out.
are there, like, in the world that we could look at? Because I believe that there has
off.
to be some level of conspiracies out there. Not all conspiracy theories can be
I'll go one for you then.
false. Yep.
MH370. How come
that's crazy.
it can't be found?
Yeah.
Why can that not be found?
I don't know.
Aren't they finding more and more on that every day, though? There's a new doco out on it, which is just released more. I haven't watched it or looked into what it is, but
Yeah, maybe we should do our research. But
In today's world,
yeah.
I remember my
Right.
dad up. He probably knows. He's
I
into
reckon
planes.
I'm into those conspiracy, like, to a point. Like, I'm into those conspiracy theory stuff. Like, I'm really interested in the Twin Towers ones, where
Yeah.
it's just like the government knows more than what we're being told.
The government would know
way
more
that
than what
the
you're
way
being
that
told.
building was built, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
MH370, is it?
yeah.
That's actually an example of, I think the leading theory is of what I just said before that doesn't happen much, which is suicidal pilot
Yeah.
has decided this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
go
But-
out with a.
But the governments would know more than
Of course.
more
But I
than they
guess
tell
what
the
I'm
public.
saying is the one about the Twin Towers is this is what we've been told. There's a very different story to it, or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
They'd be
we all
cut-
saw the planes go in the building,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think the conspiracies were something about bombs going off in the basement that made the buildings
Yeah,
collapse.
there's videos where you can see it like they claim that all
Detonating.
the explosions are going off down the
Yeah,
same
and there's
building.
people saying the way it's built, the planes wouldn't have brought down the bottom.
It's very slippery. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you get
Yeah.
engineers involved. They go, no, actually, there's a reason for that. That's because I remember being completely convinced in uni. Like I read this thing about the moon landing, and for a period of
We've
about
done
45
this
minutes, sorry, repeated content, but for a period of 45 minutes, I was convinced by this conspiracy theory, and then I read the rebuttal to it
Yeah.
to the people who are going, okay, well, here's a,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know what to,
Well, I
that,
think
that
that's
sounds
where-
feasible too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think most people sit in this 25 to 75% range of going, well, there's got to be something there. And then, then the rebuttal brings you back to this way.
It's entertaining.
There's some people some people might be in that last 5% either end, and they're like tin foil hat wearers and those kind of things where they just think they know everything that's happened and all that. And we're just open and discussing, like we move in between. We go, well, maybe the moon land didn't happen because, what was his name? Buzz Aldrin gets on Conan O'Brien and goes, well, we didn't go.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't there. He says it live
Buzz
on
Aldrin
TV.
said they didn't go to the moon.
Yeah,
he made a couple of slip-ups where, like, if you're on the side of it was fake, it can be construed as slip-ups.
What, was he joking or something? Or?
No.
He just said some shit that didn't make sense. I think it was probably more senile and fucking...
I don't know, yeah.
Maybe,
And
maybe on the drink. Or
yeah, it just was like,
On the space wine.
Some of the things, like,
Moon
some of the
wine.
theories, you've got to think it would be more amazing that many people could keep that secret
well, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
than, like, it just say COVID, for
It
example.
just takes one person to go...
Of course.
Some
yeah.
of the theories
Fucking
around
studio,
COVID,
I
it's
was
like,
there.
how could all the governments in all the world collaborate to keep this secret?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, you
That
know,
being said,
That's
there
what-
are plausible
yeah.
ones. Like, there's the whole thing of COVID being a lab-built virus that got leaked. And
they
all
got
that
loose,
kind of
possibly,
stuff.
and they covered that up, maybe.
That doesn't take that many people to keep that quiet.
No, someone
was
did
your-
it, and then,
Yeah.
It was your bats pretending they were men.
Oh, was that...
They
Or
said,
was
"Oh,
that
there we go."
mango that you ate? Have we talked about that on the podcast?
that was it.
The bat mango that you ate?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty
That
confident.
started COVID. Anyway,
Yep,
should we move
all right.
on?
Well, have you... that was my what the fuck.
Yeah.
Have you got one?
I mean, I do, but...
Yeah, go. Yeah,
I've got a really quick one. I was in a work meeting the other day,
right.
and we got a guy at work who's just shaved his head recently, and I'm talking bald, like razor bald. There's a feature on Google Meets where you can do, like, if you do the peace sign, the camera will detect that you're doing the peace sign, and balloons will come up in the air.
Google what?
Google Meets, it's like Zoom.
Oh, I thought it was something to do with a butcher.
Oh, that'd be good. Like 3D printed
We'll
meats.
come back to that.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you do the peace sign, like, balloons will come up in the air, so
Okay.
it detects that you're doing a motion to the camera. One of them is, if you give the thumbs up to the camera, a bubble will come up on the screen with a thumb emoji inside it, and it'll go up the screen.
Right.
And Google Meets has thought that his bald head was a thumb and just kept on producing thumbs and kept sending thumbs up the screen over and
That's
over
gold.
again.
I seen a thing the other day. Apparently, if you send a thumbs up emoji, it means for Gen Zs or something.
There's a bit of a thing about this. I think we talked about
What
it.
the fuck? Really?
I think they talked about. So some of the younger people I know were like, this for certain generation, the skull means something good.
Yeah, I saw someone use the skull today. What's that?
I don't know. I have to read the article again.
Oh, that's killer.
But for us, our generation, the thumbs is just normal. It's like, yeah, cool. I
Yeah, cool.
Understood.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's all
Yep.
good. Whereas that's like really passive aggressive.
Well, that's
or
like
something.
how you
Yeah,
guys
it's like a
told me that
sarcastic thing or something.
It's
Going,
like
what?
how you guys told me calling someone champ.
Yeah, you
Was
can't
it
say champ
Yeah, can't say
anymore.
champ. Can I champ?
Depends
And
on the
the thumbs
context.
ups means the same
Okay,
thing.
champ.
Yeah,
Fuck off, champ.
yeah. I was like, yeah, brilliant. Yeah,
It's tone and the other words used with it.
yeah. All right, let's move on to for fuck's sake. Now, my for fuck's sake is workplace injuries. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm getting a bit over them as I get older. Now, the other day, I think I told you
Was there a
guys.
surprise treadmill?
Yes. No, close. I was talking to the client, and next minute I thought I got electrocuted by a cord that dropped down on my nose, but it was 3 European wasps. Bit me on the nose.
Thought it was a hidden fence.
Yeah, freedom fence.
Freedom fence.
So me and Teddy are like that, you know, and
3
it
wasps.
hurt like it,
Yeah.
and eyes watered my sinuses. And I was talking to my Leroy, stable mate, Leroy.
Did it get you on the forehead too?
No,
It's quite
that's
swollen.
always swollen. Yeah, that's my 18% Neanderthal for everyone out there wondering.
Did you do a ancestry thing?
Yeah, it's 18.5 Neanderthal or something like that.
Was that normal?
No, everyone's about 2 or 3.
Actually, is this real?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
and I was talking to stablemate Leroy, and he's done some work with me, and we've been stung by wasps before. And he goes, actually, I was in a workplace one time where they do a lot of computer stuff, and he saw a guy who had an ergonomic mouse because his wrist was sore.
You're talking about me.
And I'm like, wow, what a difference. Like,
I was sore. It was like too much clicking, too much
Clicking.
like. Yeah.
So what happened? So
Leroy didn't bring it up. It was just you, didn't he?
no, he did. He did. Yeah, he
It's
did.
hard work clicking all those icons. And
Yeah, Leggy's fallen down like the 8-foot hole he just dug, and you've got an ergonomic mouse.
Mouse.
fuck, man, it's
It's hard,
There's
yeah.
injuries. Yeah,
He's also got a cushion on his chair because the padding that comes with the chair is not good enough.
You have a donut.
no, I don't.
Oh,
No, it's not. It's just a cushion, and
Yeah.
he,
Not like the
he's
hemorrhoid
thrown it
donut.
at me before, and it's just I'm sickened by this.
You know, I did
cushion.
my shoulder checking the time that time. Remember, I just like lifted my rotated my wrist to check the time. I done my shoulder. I could do some serious damage clicking on links and stuff.
yes, I
Like,
know. It must be hard. Yeah. No,
but
I just
seriously, I would actually recommend that to any stable mates. If you're working hard on the mouse, the natural position most computer mice are, it means your wrist. I know this isn't good audio content, but instead of your wrist, like you kind of.
It's not. Just to clear it up, it's not good content.
do you call it though with the like you call it mice with those on computers?
Or mouses.
Mouses. Yeah, I don't know.
I think mouse and mices. Wait, mice and mouses.
This is not going to be in our 100 episode show. The highlights.
I think it's one of those words where you can go either. There's another one like that. There's for fish and fishes. You can say either. Okay. I was taught.
Yeah.
So
right. No, I felt really bad for you. I thought, oh yeah, his wrist must be really sore.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
My wife was very funny the other day. There was a crow sitting on our back fence, and then there was 2, and she said something. Like, I said, she's like, oh, it's a murder of crows, and I went, oh, I don't think 2 classes as a murder. And then she goes, oh, it's an attempted murder. That's very funny.
Yeah.
I actually remember the client that I was working very hard on that project where I didn't
Where you did your
develop
wrist.
that wrist problem. Anyway, so just if you're using a normal mouse, basically your wrist is elevated and it's hard, again, not very good audio content, but like
Can we move on from it?
you kind of got your wrist cocked up permanently.
Yeah.
Whereas a
It's
much more natural position for your hand is sideways, like
Yeah.
when you're
like
sprinting.
holding a crowbar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the impact. And
So like if you're so sideways wrist.
oh, just move
So the
on.
mouse is shaped that way, so you can just rest your hand sideways, and
Yeah.
those clicks are so much more ergonomic.
It's good. All right. Now you've got up for fuck's sake with Bunnings.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not really a for fuck's sake. I just had to fit it somewhere.
You had to put it in
Let's
there.
just say,
I just wanted to talk, so
I
I
just
thought
wanted to
I'd hijack this segment
yeah,
too.
I just wanted a dedicated
podcast.
segment where you have
My
to listen
podcast,
to what I'm saying.
my realm.
Yeah, you got any messages you need to check? Or actually,
Look at the folded arms.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Might
Your
have-
body language.
Might have skipped.
Oh,
we don't like
no,
you
he claims it's ASMR. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
All right.
My comment on this Bunnings toilets.
Right.
Do you
yeah.
think it's odd that because I've been occasionally needed to use the toilet, even if it's number 1, but maybe number 2.
There's a thing about Bunnings apparently that as soon as you go there, you need to go to the toilet.
But
Yeah.
how are they running? Like, so that place is massive.
Yep.
There's tradies there all day long who
Yep.
often don't have a dedicated toilet to use at the client's place that they're working at. Or I know you know
Yep.
this problem.
Yep.
Why is there only 1 toilet at Bunnings? I would have thought they'd have like 10.
Have you ever
and they'd-
seen a line?
And they constant, and I haven't seen a line.
Yeah.
Where's everyone shitting? And like all the tradies, where are they going?
Well, I guess if they're going to
Bunnings would be
tradies and that,
perfect.
yeah. There's
If they're
one
going
at-
to Bunnings, they're flying there, they're flying back usually.
But wouldn't they just? I'll
It
go to
is,
Bunnings
yeah.
and I'll do a crap and get the wood.
yeah. Oh, sometimes they're full. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's only usually one toilet, like
Are
a
you just
single
there on
toilet.
are you just there on a weekend rather than a weekday?
I'm usually there a weekend, but
So less
say for
tradies on the weekend?
Capera, for example, there is one closer to the timber yard.
so there's two toilets,
Yeah.
two single
But it's
toilets servicing
a-
everyone.
It's a male-female disabled toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the other ones, the main ones, are down the far down the other end.
Does it surprise you that there's like our workplace? We've got an office, like two offices that share
Two
between
offices.
No, not us. No, didn't you have some steak caught in your teeth before? That must be nice. You have steak for dinner, did you? It's nice steak dinner, sitting there in your mansion and
Filet mignon.
yeah, with your murder of crows, just watching the bird.
Beautiful sunset with his wife.
Yeah, it must be really nice.
Times is hard. Times is hard.
That's quite good.
Yeah.
Ironic that we're sitting in your home studio.
With two new fridges
Yeah, with a new fridge. Yeah, because you
Can't
wanted
give
a
the second one
freezer.
away. Yeah.
and a treadmill.
Just fucking treadmill.
A fucking $3,000 treadmill. Nearly killed Ben.
4 drum kids.
Four drunk kids.
I think we might have just ended that joke.
Yeah. Anyway, where was it? But honestly, does that surprise you? That where I was going with the office, like we've got a bunch of toilets. Like there's you could probably have 5, 6, 7 people relieving their body fluids at the one time at our office. But at Bunnings, where there's
It's hardly
heaps of people, and I would imagine it'd be in demand because there's no toilet at the client's place and all that.
So I guess on our floor, in the men's toilet, there'd probably be what?
20 men?
Across all the offices on our floor, there'd probably
20
be
men.
50 men.
I was going to say 20, but
Well, there's 20 in our office.
men? Yeah, okay. All right.
So there's probably, and
yeah,
there's
all right,
like
all right,
3
all
other.
right.
So
Yeah.
maybe 60 to 80 men.
I don't reckon
How many
that many.
people would be, and obviously there's the women's separate toilet, and we don't know how many people are in there. I'm not going in there. But how many people would be in Bunnings at any one time?
Oh, it could be heaps. Especially that you get there at 6 as soon as they open. When the tradies there, it's packed.
I don't know.
in the
Does that not sit
it
well with
does.
you that there's one toilet?
Oh, it's annoying.
And it's not.
It doesn't. It surprises
You need, they need
me.
more. Yeah,
what
it
you're
doesn't
saying
need
is
more.
you're surprised it's not a bigger problem.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that they don't give you more, and B, I'm surprised it's not a problem.
Yeah.
That there's
Yeah,
not more.
that
Never see
there's
a
not a
line
line.
Yeah.
Is it a problem?
Or
that there's
is
not more?
there
It
no
is
line?
sometimes, yeah.
Is there no line because people know there's only one and just fucking keep moving?
And would it not be there
Yeah.
in their interest to make it a destination? And that brings me to my next point, which I didn't know I was going to make until now.
Right. Very good.
Have you guys seen the show? I think you have, Benji. The show Nathan for You.
Yes.
Yeah, Ben has.
I'm very across it.
I love
No, I
it.
don't know.
Hi-
No.
Highly recommend this show, Nathan for You. I think it's on like Apple. It was years ago, but I think it's on Apple TV now. But check that out.
Don't have that.
He's this guy who
Yeah, it must
he's
be
just a
nice.
really
Apple.
quirky
I
guy.
was gonna say
I
that
think
one.
like Louis Theroux, everyone knows
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
Louis
That
Theroux.
kind of quirky sort of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he goes in and he fixes your business or gives you business ideas. He goes helps businesses with new ideas.
Yeah.
And it's just like really random shit. What was the one? Have you seen the one where he says, "Okay, we're going to make it was like a diner in America, and they're going to make it instead of you have to buy something, it's like a free. You can use this toilet. Like they basically have open up their toilets to the public.
To the public, yeah, to get them in as a loss leaders.
It's a loss leader. Yeah, we come to the toilet, and then he tries to sell them the steak or something while they're actually shitting.
Another example is he goes to like a liquor store and says, "We're going to now sell to underage kids." But they can't pick it up until they turn of age. So he brings a whole bunch of kids in, and they just hand over the money for some in like 3 years' time.
Wow.
It's a great show.
It's excellent.
Cool.
Yeah. My eldest come up with an idea for Bunnings. I think we have talked about this on the potty. Is a barber.
Yeah.
In Bunnings, so the tradies you don't have time. You just go to Bunnings, sit down, get a 20-minute haircut.
Or at least collaborate. Have them out the front in a gazebo, like a sausage and a haircut.
Haircut or something. Yeah. Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So many ideas.
Yeah.
I think they're doing fine, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I think they're doing all right. Yes. All right. Speaking of music, and you'll get your drum parts right on Saturday the 16th. You'll be fine. I've got every faith in you. It's a couple of festivals. We hasn't been announced yet, but one coming up. We're playing at, and I had a quick chat to the Gladstone Country Music Festival as well, who it reminded me of the T-Bar Festival. Remember when we sort of organised that, and for 3 years we did that in Toowoomba.
Cool. Yeah.
They had a problem with announcing Casey Chambers as playing there, and then
Gympie.
no, at Gladstone Country Music Festival.
Yeah, Gladstone. Oh, she's
Yeah,
playing.
no, she's not now because there was something in her contract with another festival that she wasn't allowed to play within 300 kilometres within 3 months or something like that. And I went,
That's
so
disappointing.
these poor people that organise the Gladstone Country Music Festival, they're having a crack,
pouring
right?
their
They're
heart
doing
into
it,
it,
yeah.
yeah.
And they're putting everything into it and closing off streets and all this kind of thing in the middle of Gladstone. And they named Casey Chambers as the main act.
Oh, no.
And then because of this clause in the contract she has with another festival, have to say, oh, well, she can't play here
Name and shame it.
at that. And then, but the festival that she can play at have said, oh, don't worry, you can come to our festival and see her play there. And I went, oh.
Are you saying that has cost me the chance probably to meet Casey Chambers?
Well, that's not the one we're playing at.
Oh,
But
we're
maybe
playing-
next year,
wait,
we're playing at a different one.
The one that she's
this
banned
year.
from is not the one we're playing at?
That's right.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. But next year, if she's back next year, we might be able
You
to
don't want
play
to
there
name,
next
you don't
year.
want to name and shame the one that's done the dirty.
No, that's not for me to do. But I do. Well, But I remember.
What's near Gladdy? Within
I've,
300 k's of Gladdy.
I've
We'll
actually
just look
signed
at-
some
I'll just
contracts
check
that have that in there. Like if we play Agnes Water, we can't play
Are you listening to your
two,
drink?
What's that? What's
two or three. What's it saying?
Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right.
What are you doing?
No. What's that nice man say?
The fuck is he doing?
But it reminded me of the and this is a bit different. But when I was organising the T-Bar Festival, I got death threats.
Really?
Yeah, I had people because
About what?
there were bands because my hometown's Toowoomba. I left there in '99, and I played heaps of gigs back there. And I thought, let's do something for the locals there to get them to play with touring artists, to get them more, exposure, that kind of thing. So I come up with T-Bar Festival, which was Toowoomba Blues and Roots. Anyway, I went to the venue and they said, yep, cool. And I got a list of names from the venues and that. Then they gave me a list of names of people that were barred from there
Yeah.
that couldn't play there. And then when they saw that
There's a
this was
list there.
happening,
There's
there
a
was a
list.
list, yeah. And
Are
when
we
they
on that list? We're
no, we were good guys. And when they saw that they weren't included in this festival that was happening for locals and touring artists, I got sent all these messages about, I'm going to fucking stab you.
Could that be part of the reason why they're on the list, the ban list?
That's right, yeah, exactly.
Too
yeah.
many
Quick to
stabbings.
anger.
Yeah. And then I just
Attempted
went,
murder.
why do they have to be like that? Like, what's the point of
Yeah.
that? And I actually had, it got that bad there in one of the first ones. I had to go to the police
Yeah.
and say, oh, look, this is what, and they're like, look, normally with this stuff, social media, nothing ever follows through. But I just said, well, I kind of know that. I'm not too worried, but I just thought I'd let you know in case something happens on the night, because they'll all kind of come in to get together, and then I was stabbed and dead or something, whatever, all this stuff. And then I was going to be beat up and gutter stomped and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And then one of the guys who was
Is
abusing
that
me.
what happened to your forehead?
No, well, I'd be safe if it happened. I wouldn't feel it. I was doing another gig up there, close to one of the festivals, I think. I had to go to the music shop because I'm a prolific string breaker and get some strings for the gig because I knew I'd break some. And one of the guys was in there.
The thready guy.
One who threatened me was in the bloody music shop
As a customer.
as a customer. Yeah, and I went, all right, let's see what.
Ooh,
see
what he's
he
got in
does.
person.
Yeah, when he sees me in person.
Yeah.
And he was with his. Anyway, I went up. I walked straight past him and I stared right at him to see what he'd do. He just looked at me like he didn't know me at all. And I was about to say something. I thought, and not blowing my own trumpet, but I would have fucking killed him. He was some frail-looking.
Or starving Marvin. It was a starving Marvin.
It was like starving mum. Yeah, he wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds. No, but I went just like, what? Why do people like that?
Yeah,
like
keyboard
it's
warriors.
just
Keyboard warriors.
yeah, keyboard warriors and all that. And I went,
So you got to get ergonomic mouse. You're going to make that many threats at bulk. You need ergonomic setup.
that's right. Yeah. Anyway, so it just reminded me of that. So shout out to everyone out there putting festivals on because it's hard work. We know it's hard. And
that poor one we played when it rained. The organisers did
Tumba Music Rampage or something.
You can't really. I don't know if their marketing wasn't good or if it literally there was a flood that you had 2 floods you had to drive through to actually get to the thing. Yeah, at the time. So that was a good gig though. I like that one.
Yes.
We had to pull our weight getting through those rum and cokes that were all left over.
You did very well. I was very proud of you that night.
You did a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I think we drank the same amount. It's just that I was piss fit and he wasn't.
Anyway, we've got a shit dad segment now. Ben, we haven't heard much from Ben tonight, so
I'll do one real quick because
you talk.
then this is Ben's segment.
Oh no.
The only reason I want to do this is because I told my daughter I would.
all right, yeah.
I had a shit dad moment during the week. My daughter had a fall. She fractured her elbow.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a shit dad moment where I'm just one of these people, like, when my kids hurt themselves, Tash is like, oh, fuck, we better take them to the emergency room.
Just to be safe.
Just to be safe, all that shit. I'm just like, nah, look, we'll just have them home.
See how it goes.
Have a look. Like, they're probably overreacting. And so I did that.
Nothing wrong with seeing how something
picked
goes.
her up, and she was, like, proper looking fine. I thought, I'll take her to the emergency room. Fractured elbow. Didn't cry. Like she didn't cry, and I said, "How come you didn't cry?" She goes, "There were boys there."
Bless her heart. Good on her.
Didn't cry, but fractured elbow. So shout out to her. I had a shit dad moment, but I said I would mention it on the podcast.
Wasn't
excellent.
any of my boys there? Were there?
Nah, your boys are in the clear this time.
Yeah, cool.
Oh,
This time.
Yeah, it can't hurt to just see how something goes, though. You can just see how it goes.
Yeah.
If it's fine, it's fine. If it's not,
you kind of know by their reaction.
Shocked. Like, even while I was there, I'm just like, this isn't going to be anything. And then I took her upstairs for the x-ray, came back down. I'm sitting there going, this isn't going to be anything. We're waiting for the doctor for ages. And the doctor comes in and goes, it's fractured. I went, oh, fuck. The whole time I was just like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going to her, it's probably going to be nothing. And she's like, oh, if it's nothing, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay. It's better for us to check. And then he comes in and goes, no, it's fractured. I'm like, oh, shit.
Wow.
And then that's when she was like starting to tear up because it was fractured. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Benji,
it's your show.
This one's a bit of a dad hack / shit dad one. We did this on the weekend. Kids are always on their phones all the time. They're useless. They don't do anything around the house. And so that morning we went, okay, do the groceries. Do you want to come along? Adele and I.
That's a mistake. You don't say, do you want to come along?
No, yeah. I stuffed it. It's kind of okay because we enjoy the time apart anyway.
Doing the groceries kid-free is a hell of a lot better than
I know. Well, but we had other stuff to do. So you want to come and give us a hand and help out with stuff? Nah, we'll stay home and play whatever, Fortnite or some shit.
Yeah.
So we went out to do the groceries, but where we went was over at Richlands where there's heaps of cool stuff to do.
Yeah.
So we just like ducked into the bowling alley and took a selfie in the bowling alley and just texted it to him.
That's gold.
We went to Hungry Jack. We didn't do any of this shit. Then we went to Hungry Jack.
Because you offered for them to come.
Yeah. So
that
I was there
great.
at home going, oh, what?
That's awesome.
So I felt quite bad about it, but it was a great revenge.
That is perfect.
That's so I'm doing that.
Mum and Dad are skydiving.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. That's
pyramids
awesome.
in the background. On
On a camel.
You just get a green screen just for that.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
So yeah, if you need to get a little bit of family-friendly revenge.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I need to do
well
that.
done.
That's awesome. I can't wait to do that.
All right, now you want to fix the world again? We've got stab my questions
it's
coming
just an
up.
idea.
Hang around for them.
And it's kind of, you wouldn't let me continue before, but when Jiggs said he had an incident with a snake at the golf course.
I did.
My question is, so brown snakes.
Yep.
Any mention, so as soon as you like want to kill one of them or whatever on social,
You can't.
you cannot mention that, I've had a brown snake, killed it, it's gone, good riddance. You can't even say, I hate brown snakes, because then it's like, oh, well, they deserve to be in the world. Cool. How do I put this? Like,
Do you want me to phrase it? Because
No.
I've got
You're going
no
on a
problem.
coal.
no, it's all right. Why can't we? I understand we got to live in the natural environment. We were here first, but at this point in time, we are the dominant species. Could we not just optimize it for our enjoyment? So just get rid of brown snakes.
We're watching.
Just that type of snake.
Well, anything that's a danger, like maybe red bellies, they're not as aggressive. Brown snakes are a menace.
You turn on the Discovery Channel, and there's an antelope fucking just absolutely hammering down a zebra.
Yeah.
Or some shit. I don't
Is
know.
that how it works? I don't think. I do not.
Two herbivores going at it. Bush! Get out of here, Bush! Oh, shit.
Okay, there's a lion going after something. So why, as the dominant species, why can't you do that?
What can't I what?
Why can't you get rid of brown snakes?
Oh,
Why
yeah,
can't
yeah. Are you
just
agreeing with
hack
me?
that shit up?
Are you agreeing with me?
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm saying more systematically. I'm saying, why can't we change the rule to be, instead of it's protected, no, we don't want that to be a thing. And I know people will say, okay, well, there's an ecosystem, and if you get rid of that, like the whole cane toad, if you get rid of that, that's going to do something. New Zealand survives without snakes, are they?
Yeah, but they never had them. Look,
Yeah, I know. So can't we just get rid of them?
Aren't we evolved
enjoy the
enough?
benefits of us not getting bitten and dying?
so what if your benefits then became negative, as in you had rats taking over your house?
Well, it doesn't happen in New Zealand, does it?
No, it would. If the
We're smart enough in
Carpet
this,
pythons are fine. They can get rid of the rats.
yeah, we're smart enough in this society where scientists would be able to tell us, nah, you got rid of the brown snakes. The rats aren't going to be a problem. We've still got enough carpet snakes. Like, we would be able to get an answer on what the knock-on effect is. Like, we know
they're
we
not
get rid of
s-
bees and we're all fucked, right?
Yeah.
Scientists would be able to say, this is what happens if you fuck off brown snakes.
I think all living things serve a purpose,
Stop
and
it.
if you got rid of,
About cane toads.
well, they do.
What purpose?
They were supposed to.
What purpose?
In Australia,
The cane
nothing
beetle.
in Australia, but
Yeah.
where they from? Like, were they South
So
America?
can we fuck them off in Australia?
I'd love to. Yeah, I don't like them,
Okay.
but they serve a purpose somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you narrow
So
it down
what
and you went,
purpose
let's
does it-
get rid of brown snakes, there's going to have a knock-on effect somewhere down the train.
I think we're scientific enough to know what that knock-on is now. They'll work it out. They'll
They
know.
could, yeah. I don't think there's a purpose there. So, yeah.
Like, they catch a brown snake in your yard, then they go release it somewhere else to bite someone else. Like,
Yeah. Someone else's
Like,
baby.
take it out to the natural habitat.
I know this is very hypocritical of me because I'm on other podcast episodes, which I'm sure can be brought up and sound bited. I'm probably saying, why the fuck are you killing ants? Ants have just the same rights as every other fucking animal. I
Why
know
do you
I've said
suddenly
that.
you suddenly sound like Bill Burr?
One week you're spraying dead old on cane toads.
That was
I don't
the
like
exact
killing-
impression
and I don't
Bill
like
Burr
killing
does.
canies. I don't feel good killing cane toads.
That
but-
was the exact impression Bill Burr does when he was talking about his wife.
I'm just saying, like, on the other hand, or whatever everything else I've said, could we not just flex our dominant species muscles and go, nah, we don't actually like brown snakes, let's get rid of them.
What else don't you like?
Sharks.
You know, like rainforests
Well,
in
sharks.
the Amazon, we're
But
knocking them
sharks are
down.
contained. The difference with sharks is they're in their
Yeah.
like we're going into their environment.
But it's
Like,
fun
we're-
over there.
like, we're going
Their
in for a
environment's
swim.
fun.
We're big enough to build a net, so that's
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
We
we
don't
make
need
the
to get
choice to
rid
go
of
into
sharks.
their environment. Brown
Yeah.
snake can just be in the garage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
But-
the brown that's
But
our environment.
Snakes have been around for
Is there
millions
one
of
in
years.
here?
Well, no,
Homo sapiens haven't.
yeah, so we're
they were here
this
first.
is now the Homo sapien.
Yeah, but we're in their
Yeah,
home.
but we
we're in their
won.
home.
Well, who called it their home? It's ours now.
It was their natural habitat.
It was. It's
Yeah,
not.
and we
Now
knocked
any-
it all down to build
Exactly,
our houses
because, yeah.
and home-based studios.
Yeah. Getting steak caught in our teeth from the cows we killed.
It's quite a nice house.
like we've
it's quite
bred-
a nice house with a home studio too, isn't
And
it?
a pool.
It's cool.
That's
Two
lovely.
levels.
We've bred
Yeah.
we've bred
Look at that
cows.
granny flat.
We've
Weren't you
bred
talking about building a second granny flat?
and a mobile home out the back
Yeah,
for
all that
Leggy to
shit.
stay.
All that shit.
And a veranda out the front. And an old rocking
We've bred
chair.
animals just so that we can eat them, and then he can get them stuck in his teeth from his steak dinner. Like we're already modifying the natural environment.
We have, yeah.
Yeah, rightly.
That's
or
why we've got
wrongly.
to protect it as well.
Yeah, but protect it through science. If
For
the-
your
if the
kids and your kids'
scientists-
kids.
I don't reckon
And-
anything bad's going to happen if we
Yeah.
get rid of brown snakes, or at least reduce numbers. When we catch one, don't just let it out again.
Just to be clear, you know I hate snakes.
You do,
If we were
yes.
talking about anything damaging, like the wasps you were saying that made your forehead swollen earlier, anything, as long as scientists can say it's not going to affect anything this way, fine. Just
Yeah,
eradicate it. We're the dominant
Or
species.
reduce
Earth
the
would-
numbers. Reduce the numbers.
As long
at
as
least.
if it's affecting us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Earth would adapt to, and we it has because of everything that's gone extinct previously.
The Earth will be fine.
Yeah, but
We might not be.
We don't want to make anything more extinct because we've made so many things. Anyway, that's just my point of view. I think there's a purpose
What's
for
the
them. Otherwise,
purpose
it
of a
wouldn't be
brown
here.
snake?
Yeah.
Hey?
Outside of killing children in a backyard, what's the purpose of a brown snake?
Well, that's up to everyone's different point of view. I mean, there's
I'm asking for
obviously
your point of view.
What if you could
they
evolve?
keep shit at bay.
What if you could evolve the brown snake venom? Like, oh no, they could just figure out, okay, we're going to breed brown snakes so that the venom is no longer
That'd be good.
venomous to humans, but it'll still kill the rats and whatever they want. Would you accept that level of genetic, like, interference in
Well, it's
evolution?
like, I guess funnel web spiders, dogs.
Get rid of them.
Some-
Fucking get rid of them.
Some dogs, most dogs won't be affected by a funnel web spider bite, where a human can be because they have a different makeup. So it depends on the species. I mean, it's a vast world, and we're
I know. But we're
like you
already
said,
interfering in it. We're already interfering.
we're already fucked it. Yeah, and interfering. Anyway, all right. Stablemate questions.
Oh.
You're up.
We're up.
Yeah,
All right.
Mr. Hard Rate. What do you think of the new name?
Of what?
Hard-rated alcohol.
Instead
I
of
didn't
solo?
notice it,
Oh, have
to be
they changed
honest.
it?
I didn't even notice it.
What was it called?
Solo.
Hard solo, wasn't it?
Hard solo.
And then has it got the word solo on there still?
No.
No.
It tastes the same, and that's all I give a shit about. All right, you ready?
Yes, let's go.
What do you feel like? Now, there's a couple on here that are going to...
Was that a question from the stablemate?
There's a soccer-based one for Scott. There's a
Just
Alright,
go, mate.
I'm
Just
happy
get
to
into
go.
it.
food-based one for Scott.
Oh, which one? Food. Okay, yeah. I like both of them. Yep.
Let's start with a simple one. Should we start with a fun one? This is from stablemate Richo. Now, he has brought us such questions as the one that ended up with Ben talking about ash docking,
Yeah.
which was very funny.
Richo's a regular.
So this is
G'day,
another
mate.
one from stablemate Richo. He's 1 from 1 so far, so we're going to go again.
Right.
Scrunch or fold?
Hey,
Quite simple.
incorporate
Scrunch or fold?
a bit of both.
I converted from a scrunch to fold, I reckon, maybe when I was about 10 or 11, 12 maybe. Early, mate.
Like a really neat fold?
Yeah, I fold. I get efficiency out of my toilet paper. So I can go into
How many
details.
squares?
So 3 squares. Then, so 3 squares. So say 3. Then I fold that in half. So that's 1.5 squares. And then I fold that in half again. So that is 75% of a square. Then I give that a wipe. Then I fold it the other way. I give that a wipe. Then I fold it the other way.
Are you serious?
Wait,
Wait, you're
You don't go on
re-wiping with the...
3
set
times
you've
with the
got in
one
your hand?
piece.
3 times, yep.
Wow.
So it's a triple fold. Yeah.
Like, fallen on hard times, have you?
I'm just
Times
trying
is
to-
a
hard.
natural habit. I respect the trees that died for this.
You've
for my
definitely
ass to be
offset
white.
all that brown snake murder. Yeah, you're good to go.
You've offset it. Yeah.
Suddenly I realised why I don't have a home studio. It's because I'm using too much toilet paper.
Yeah,
And a brown snake credit. He's up.
yeah. I've offset my brown snake.
I'm a
credit.
scruncher.
Oh.
Really? That's
I do
so-
Teflon coated poos. I don't need to wipe. Perfect.
What do
That's
you
not
put that
correct.
down to? Your diet,
I don't know. Yeah.
Has it always done
Fibre. Yeah.
or is it you've always been Teflon?
Metamucil.
So if you have, so when you have a wipe, there's nothing there.
Oh, it depends.
On what?
Curry's definite.
Yeah.
No, it's,
Yeah, but-
there's a problem there. There's another trip to Woolies after curries.
Okay,
Don't
that's a
worry.
weird
Yeah.
answer.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, that was a simple one.
Yeah.
All right. This one's definitely got Scoot in mind, and this one's from stablemate Grant. If you were on death row, what would you choose as your last meal?
Pizza Hut buffet.
Pizza Hut buffet. Not KFC.
They'd have to take you out there.
yeah. I just love the fresh, hot, deep pan pizza that comes out.
Is
Oh,
it the excitement of the situation, though?
Uh,
Because it's the same pizza.
I love to be there. I just
Do you like it when you're at the buffet? I know they don't exist anymore, but when you're at the buffet trying to choose and they bring out a whole new one and dump it down in
You've
front
got
of
to
you.
be disciplined at Pizza Hut. Okay, so when you get to the all-you-can-eat Pizza Hut, don't be... If there's something subpar, like if you're settling, if you feel like, oh, they don't have that, so I'll settle, just wait.
Just wait.
Just wait.
Yep.
I also recommend going at peak times, which is an oxymoron, because you might think, oh, peak time's going to be bad, it's going to be busy, everyone's going to be fighting over pizza. Peak time is great because there's
They're
so
rolling
much
them out.
turnover of pizza flavors and things like that.
I've got something for you I saw today. KFC chicken
KFC chicken. You saw KFC chicken.
pizza.
No.
It's in the States.
Is it
Not happy.
Wait. Is it Pizza Hut feet KFC or is it KFC feet pizza?
I think it's pieces of KFC chicken with pizza toppings like...
No, sorry. I mean, I appreciate you bringing it up. I do.
Oh, okay.
But
I'll just go now. Thanks, everyone. That's been episode 26. We'll see you again soon.
There is no way you thought you were getting a negative reaction to that piece of content.
No, I just went, Scoot's going to
You are
love this.
I can tell you are
Wow.
devastated.
Yeah. I was going to go outside and kill a brown snake.
I
He
find
probably
the same-
thought to himself, fuck,
I find the same when I see like hash browns on a burger. For me, it's just they're worlds that I can't.
They're just fillers.
Having said that, I haven't actually tried it, so maybe it's fine. But I just think when they're getting too experimental with something like that,
Right.
I think they're reaching, they're stretching. It's a gimmick.
I've got another one for you.
Yeah.
I've seen a guy get a double quarter pounder and cheese.
Yep.
Macca's.
W Court P. Yep.
Yep. Drives next door to KFC, gets a zinger or original piece.
And does he shuffle them together?
Pulls open the like that.
Of
Slaps
the chicken on the.
in the double quarter pounder.
Never
Would you do
tried it.
that?
I'll give it a go. Honestly, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
I still think they perfected the zinger burger. For me, it's the same as the cheeseburger at Macca's. It's just the ratios are beautiful. It's simple.
In that,
Do you do bacon and cheese zinger? or-
No, I don't, and that's what I mean. Like
told
less
you to
is
set
more.
him off.
And I've
told
only
you.
learnt this recently. Less can be more. I think adding cheese to a zinger,
So you just get the zinger, the lettuce.
lettuce, the mayo, the fillet, the bun. I don't know. Same with the cheeseburger. Like I don't need to add. If I added tomato to a cheeseburger, I think it would take away from it.
So a zinger burger you eat with a knife and fork.
No, I don't actually. I think that's just below the threshold of burger size where it's
Right.
manageable.
Okay. And cheeseburger you don't use that either.
Cheeseburger's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
cheeseburger fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll clear that up.
going back to that mixing food thing that you said before,
Yeah.
there's a guy on another podcast I've heard who they call him the mix master, and his big claim to fame is that he comes up with combining foods.
Yeah.
One that I'd love to try that he's talked about is called the Nana Jana,
Nana Jana.
which is a
naan
palmy
bread. Oh, okay.
with butter chicken sauce on the palmy,
Butter
wrapped
chicken.
into a piece of naan bread.
Okay.
Ooh, I
Doesn't
love
that sound
I
good? A
love naan
Nana
bread.
Jana.
You had a garlic and cheese naan bread.
It- I
So
think
with
it
the
is
original
today.
question,
Garlic
with
cheese,
the
garlic
original
cheese,
question
spinach.
of death row meal, I'm going to go the Nana Jana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd probably go lasagna. I
Yeah.
guess I love a good
Yep.
lasagna.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Benji, you got
Couldn't get past the brisket.
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, I love
good thinking.
Benji's. Was it pastrami? Is that what you call it? Corned beef with like smoked
yeah.
corned beef. And what's the thing on it? Mustard and pepper or something? So
Yeah.
good.
I think there's a Seinfeld bit where he talks about I'd choose my last meal based on the execution style. So if it's a lethal injection, feels like pasta. But if it's the electric chair, I want something spicy. It's pretty good.
Oh, brilliant. All right.
All right. Good
Next
one.
one.
How many left, Ben?
An hour 32, right?
One more?
Yeah, another one.
All right. Will the A-League... This is stablemate David. Will the A-League ever hold a lasting hold in
No.
Australia?
No.
Or soccer in general? Will
Oh.
soccer ever get a foothold in Australia?
I think the women's game's going very well.
It could be a good niche.
We flogged Uzbekistan 12-0 on aggregate, two
Yeah.
games.
Is that just based
Yeah.
on current players, though? Like, will that hold with future players? I mean, that's a good... Like you talked about grassroots earlier.
Yeah.
Having great players at the top level is a good way to get girls interested
Into
in
it,
soccer
yeah.
if we want to get women's soccer big.
Yep.
But I guess, is it going to be compared to the market in Europe, do we have a chance of soccer ever being something here?
I reckon. Let's just shorten the time. I can't say ever. Ever's too long. Let's just. I know a little.
Our lifetime. How's
Let's
that?
say like the next 20, 30 years. Sorry, just to clarify that.
Yeah, thanks. We're all thinking it.
Ever?
It's always surprised me. I think this could be repeated content, but that soccer is such a popular sport at grassroots level. hazard a guess to say the most popular kids sport.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
close. Yeah,
But it just does. It falls flat on its face as a
whereabouts you think
professionals.
under 16s up or?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where.
Well, you're a kids coach and you play seniors. What are you over 65s?
Is it the way? Is it the way it's marketed? Is it the pub? Is it just it's not an exciting enough game? Like
I reckon it's Australians have got too much exciting options.
Too much
terms
choice.
of, sport like AFL, it's fast paced. NRL, it's fast paced.
We're a small market.
It's a small market and it's a slow game. Like at the top level, it is pass, chip it around, pass. No, like basketball, bat. The whole thing we've talked about.
But you with
no
kids
score.
basketball, it was hard to get Cam into a team, wasn't it?
Oh,
Because it was so
booming.
popular.
It is absolutely blowing up.
Yeah.
And we talked about basketball in the NBA. In the NBA, it used to just be Luke Longley. He was the only Australian.
Yeah.
Now I think there's 16 Australians in the NBA.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's going ape shit.
A stat the other day for the NBL, the first time since the 90s, this year they're going to have over 1 million spectators in Australia.
Yeah, well, the Bullets
Yeah.
are doing well again, even though they got
Yeah.
bounced ages ago. And we're bringing talent in. Like, if they don't... Like, everyone wants to make the NBA.
Yeah.
But if you didn't make the NBA, it was always play in France or play in China. Now it's play in Australia.
So would
it's
you
a
say
thing now.
basketball in Australia is bigger than soccer, A-League, that kind of thing?
At the top level, I reckon the NBL is probably doing better than the A-League.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that either way, but the A League's definitely dwindling.
It
I
does
thought
seem
they-
to be on the downside.
They had a good crack when they launched the A League,
Mm.
the old NSL, I think it was. Like they had a good push. The branding was good. The marketing was good, but I feel like the soccer world, it's still when you watch the coverage of say an A League game or even a Socceroos game, it feels very insular. Like it's soccer people talking about soccer things, whereas the general public is not that educated on soccer. I don't think.
Well, you're
Yeah.
a soccer person. Do you watch the A-League?
It's so crap.
Is part of it?
Well, there you go.
Is part of it
yeah.
that the leagues in Europe are so amazing? How could you ever compare?
I shouldn't say that. It's not that crap. It's.
I don't watch the NBL. I'll say I go to some NBL games for the experience.
Yep.
And I'll watch it if it's on. But the NBA is so good and so dominant that I don't watch it.
There is a world of difference between the standard of A League and the standard of
Same with
English
the
Premier
NBA.
League or European leagues.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, I think because I think Australia produces enough young soccer players where we could have a strong league, but all the good players obviously go overseas, understandably. But I just don't think it's the soccer. Soccer hasn't connected with the general public in Australia. As I said, it's soccer people talking about soccer things.
Yeah.
It's kind of complicated. It's like the formation they're doing. People don't understand it. It's whereas basketball, I don't know that much about basketball. I can understand it. I saw him score a goal, and I know that was 2 points.
Yeah.
And then I saw him score another goal, and I can just be. I don't know exactly the technicalities what they've done.
You can drop in and out.
I can drop in and out. I can understand it.
Yeah.
Whereas these European countries, these English countries, it is the sport. Everyone understands it. They understand the intricacies of it. They're talking the same language as the commentators about things.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get from where you are now to...
Well, it's the biggest game in the world. I just don't think it's... I think it just hasn't had a grip in Australia for a long time. I think there was a bit of a peak for it. Was it the A-League grand final you went to and missed the goal? And
That wasn't even a grand final. That was just a...
There was a couple of good Royal grand finals.
Royal grand final. Yeah, there was a lot of buzz about that.
Did we talk about when I went to the intensive care ward
we did.
in my boxes?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. So, I mean, but since then it's dwindled a bit. Yeah. And whether... Yeah. So, and even had a crack at A-League. And was that just a marketing
I forgot
thing?
about that.
Yeah.
Like a marketing ploy. Didn't he play like a couple of games?
I think he got one goal or something. But anyway,
What's funny is, and I know we're about to wrap up, but can I finish with this?
Yes.
One of those stablemate questions from stablemate Richo was sent to me. The first words in the message were, "Fuck, I hope this isn't repeated content."
Well done. On that note, we'll finish up here, episode 26. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you again for episode 27, which will be a fishy bee.
Fishy bee.
Thank you very much. Good much.